let's see now. We're working on doing a Z on lower control arm for 521 pickup. And I figured I'd show some of the setup that goes into being able to cut it with a bandsaw here. These are just 3/8 inch scrap. They're left over from a previous project. I need something. The bottom of the arm, one end of the arm here is thicker, so it rocks on that. So I need to be able to put it up on top of something so that it has a nice sturdy, even flat level base to sit on. Now then the this piece of square tubing is over here because obviously with the way the back is curved here, I need the jaws to be able to spread that. So I've got one of those on each side now. Now this piece here is basically cut pretty darn close to the same distance that's between here, because if I were to just tighten it down right now, it might grab on the end of the arms here and clamp down okay, but it would be at quite an angle. This jaw will pivot around the bolt excuse me, right here, and I don't want it to do that. So this is actually the equivalent of a jack bolt or something like that, and it's in here just to take up that extra space. So I'll clamp it down snug just a little bit there, just to see that everything is takes the shift out of it basically. Then I'll loosen it back up just a hair. Now I'm going to drop the hydraulics. This has a hydraulic lowering ram on it, and I'll get it down nice and close so I can line up my cut line there. And that's pretty darn close. None of this is brain surgery or anything like that, so you know, pretty much anything within a 1/16 of an inch is going to work. I like to be a bit more accurate than that, but that's the reality. That's all it really takes. Then it will be more accurate than the 1/16. So anyway, what I also want to do too is I want to hold this down flat. I want to make sure it's not rocking it, so that way when I clamp it in there nice and tight, I'm ready to go. We'll turn the bandsaw on and let it do some cutting. Now on this particular cut, it's set up. It's an all the way through cut. The next cut will be a all the way through as well. So I may not let it run for the whole thing, but we'll at least get it started. There we go, nice clean cut all the way through it. So let's loosen that up a little bit. Let's raise this back up. We'll turn the lock for the hydraulics there. And we'll move to the next cut. Let's lower it down a little. Get it close. Okay, because of the weight back here, that's why it's shifting. So, again, I'm pushing it down. I also want to reach under there and make sure that 3/8 inch plate isn't under there. Now with it, there we go. Get that last little bit of alignment there. Alright, I think we're good to go. Okay. And on the next cut, basically I have to reverse it around here, so might end up getting in the way of the camera here a little bit, but let's see. So I want to pull that out and I want to turn it back around this way. Ooh, that's pretty let's see if that holds. Well, that's not awesome, but we'll see if it holds. As long as I keep a hand on the end of the bandsaw here to make sure that it doesn't drop through and bind too quick. Should be okay. And the other thing too is on this particular cut, I'm only going to cut down to the bottom. I'm not going to cut all the way through. If I did that, I'd be welding the arm back together. Alright, now I wanted to stop that because by the time it touches this side, because of the angle of the blade going down, it would be cutting into the far side there, and I do not want it to do that. So there we go. We got pretty darn close, within a 1/16 of an inch down there. So that's perfect. Now I can hand cut this, freehand it, bandsaw it, whatever, to knock that piece out of there. There's no way to put it in a setup on the bandsaw and let it down, you know, gravity feed down onto it. There's no point. So we'll call that good. Alright, I'm going to cut it on this bandsaw, 4x6, just because this one's so much easier to put vertical and horizontal. The other one's got that hydraulic assist for the down feed. It goes vertical, but trying to get it to go back down, I have to adjust the setting on the ram, or I have to open it all the way up and then I have to reset it. So rather than mess with it, I have another bandsaw. I'll just cut it on this one. This one's a little bit smaller, easier to get around, a little bit more predictable. It's got a much finer tooth blade on it too. So basically all I'm going to do is, I have my cut here. I want to take it off. I want to remove this chunk here. So I'm just going to go in here fairly close to the bottom. It doesn't need to be all the way to the bottom. The shock's not going to be down that close, and if I leave, you know, if I leave about the, you know, maybe cut it right about there, that elbow it leaves there is actually going to keep a lot of the rigidity. This won't become just a flat piece of bar stock that'll bend. That'll maintain a bunch of the rigidity. So I'll leave a little extra there, and I can always grind it down later. If it looks like I'm not cutting into it straight, it's because bandsaws always have a bias to them. They don't typically, at least none of the cheap ones that I get to use, they don't cut straight in. They cut at a slight angle. So you got to compensate for that angle in order to get it to cut straight. And you may not be able to hear me over the bandsaw anyway. Alright, getting near the end of the cut, lighten up on your pressure just a little bit. That way you don't jam in and bend the blade or anything like that. There we go. That's all there is to that.